At one time, it seemed that we knew what to do. The lines were clear and making the right choice was easy. But today, well, maybe that's not quite true. In fact, perhaps it was an illusion that what we thought was true was really true. Many have said that the lines today are blurred. I'm not sure they're blurred, but rather we are now looking at the world through clearer lenses, and our perceptions are in many cases challenged. Perhaps what we think is acceptable or even right is generational. Perhaps it's rooted in our cultural upbringing or geographic location. Whatever the difference, today we must be open to those differences and be willing to acknowledge that different people see things much differently. So let me share with you a personal example. I'm a member of a professional association, and at one of our regional conferences, a small group of us planned on sharing dinner together. I happened to have my car there, so I offered to drive. 3 of my colleagues joined me, 2 men and a young lady. She was likely in her early 30s. The 2 men got in the back seat, and I proceeded to the passenger side to open her door. As I reached for the handle, she asked politely, "What are you doing?" Now, thinking this was a trick question, I responded, "Well, I'm opening your door," saying that with a bit of a grin. She then asked, "Why?" Now, I have to admit at this point, I was a bit taken back by her question. So as nicely as I could say it, I said, "I'm a gentleman." She then loosened up and asked what turned out to be a profound question. "Would you have opened the door for Mark?" Thinking for a moment, I quickly responded, No, not likely." Then she said to me rather emphatically, "So, you're sexist." Now, that is not something I'm used to being called, and certainly not from young ladies, where I'm doing what I was taught to do by my mother. She proceeded to say, "Look, if you'll open the door for me because I'm female but not for Mark, then you're treating me different because of my gender. If you truly believe that we are all equal, then why would you treat me different than our male friends?" Now, Mark, sitting in the back seat, broke the ice and shouted, "Yeah, Chuck, why didn't you open my door?" Well, I had a good laugh, but let's take a quick time out, because I know we're interacting virtually and I can't see your reaction, but based on my live presentations, I bet you have a reaction. Some folks say, "Goodness, what have we come to when a gentleman can't be a gentleman?" Others, perhaps a minority, but a vocal minority, clearly say, "She was right." If we live in a world where we value equality, then treating people as equals makes sense. Now, let me be clear. If I didn't open the door for a lady, my mama would come down from heaven and whip my rear end. Okay, well, maybe not, but you get the idea. My generation was taught manners and how to respect and treat others in a specific way. Not that the way I was taught was bad, but what I have come to learn is that I have to be open not only to how I think I should treat someone, but more importantly, how they want to be treated. My young female colleague said, I know this bothers you, but I would rather you have asked me if opening my door was acceptable. That way I could honor your sense of manners and you could honor my sense of self and give me the power to make my own decisions." As we continue this program, we'll explore other ways to empower others. Meanwhile, you can bet I'll ask in the future.